What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Nostalgic Gamers Club here exclusively on the internet. My name is Zach, and if you're new to this channel, I like to play and look at retro games and retro movies and music and books and TV shows and all that stuff. But, you know, so far, mostly just games and some toys. Today, I wanted to take a look at Ratchet and Clank Going Commando for the PlayStation 2. This game has a lot of history for me, and it's in a very, in my opinion, interesting way because I've never actually beaten this game. In fact, I didn't log a ton of hours in this game, which seems to be somewhat regrettable because if I'm looking at the scores here, it got like 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, 9.4 out of 10, 4 out of 5 stars, 4.5 out of 5 stars. 90 out of 100. Like the reviews for this game were incredible. But the reason that this is such an interesting game for me is it kind of spoiled the fact that I was getting a PlayStation 2. So this came out in late 2003. I would have just turned 13. And, my brother, his girlfriend had a PS2. And so I had played a PS2 before, but we didn't have one. And I was so excited because I was pretty sure that I was going to be getting it for Christmas. And I went over to my cousin's house for our big, cousin's Christmas party. And he's a little bit older than I am. One of those cousins that I've always called uncle. He walks out with, my Christmas gift, and I unwrap it, and it's Ratchet and Clank Going Commando for the PS2. It's this exact copy. And the funny thing is I hadn't gotten my PlayStation 2 yet. So at that point, my little 13-year-old brain kind of connected the dots. It was like, well, I'm sure my parents must have told my cousin that I was getting a PS2, and he got me this game for it. So this was the first game that I popped into my PS2. It still just holds a lot of nostalgic value to me for that reason. So today we're going to be taking a look at the front cover, the back cover, the instruction booklet, and then a little bit of gameplay for Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. So starting off looking at the front cover, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but there's almost this holographic coating to parts of the image. So like this blue backdrop has a little bit of holographicness to it. This sort of burn line going around the outside is holographic. And then there's a little bit of just like a holographic sheen over Ratchet and Clank there. It's honestly really nice to look at. It is over the title as well, just a little bit. But the most pronounced is this sort of burned area on the side. But here on the cover, we have Ratchet and Clank. And again, I'm not an expert with this game. I'm not extraordinarily familiar with it. So, forgive me if I don't know all the weapons, but he has this kind of like flamethrower looking gun with 4 barrels. And then I can't help but notice, I've been playing a lot of Astrobot lately. Clank looks an awful lot like Astrobot. Like there has to be some sort of design crossover there that was intentional. And I'm sure that there is. I'm sure I just don't know about it. So if you know if Clank and Astrobot are somehow related, please let me know in a comment because that's neat as hell. Flipping it over to the back cover, it might be a little bit dark here on camera. I'll try to get it so it's tilted the right way for you. Let's brighten this bad boy up. Hold on. That might be a little bit better. It says, kicking ass, one planet at a time. Ratchet and Clank are back, and they're going commando. What could be more fun? The more stuff you blow up, the stronger Ratchet gets, and the bigger and badder the weapons you'll have. Destroy hordes of enemies in gladiator arenas. Upgrade your ship and maneuver through the galaxy in intense space combat. Leave competitors to eat your dust in hoverbike races. And then we just see some screen grabs here from the game itself. Over here it says, it'll take more than your big guns to take on this challenge. You up for it? This was one player, took up 475 kilobytes on the memory card, analog control, vibration function, pressure sensitive, and progressive scan, in case that's important to you. This game is rated T for mild violence. And let's pop this bad boy open. So the thing that jumps out to me before I even get to the disc itself is that this guide is printed sideways compared to most guides or most instruction booklets that we've seen. So we'll get to that. I will say something from this era that I miss is in the PS1 disc cases, there was usually some art behind the disc. I kind of miss that, but we also do have like full print color discs now, which is great. So on the cover here, it's pretty much the same image as the front. There's just no burn marks. And they're kind of in this circular, Y2K looking white vault. I do love the art on these old PS2 discs. I think they always just look so nice. especially comparing it to like if you had the same game on PS2 and GameCube. The PS2 disc usually looked better because the GameCube discs were, again, smaller and just kind of had that more like duochromatic design. I don't even know if that's a word, duochromatic. I just made that up. So taking a look at the instruction booklet here, this is quite a bit different than any instruction booklet that I've ever seen. It's certainly different than any that are in my collection, and it really stands out. The art, like the quality of the art itself, looks amazing. The colors look great, and it's printed landscape instead of being, this horizontal booklet that you would thumb through this way. On the front here, we have Ratchet with one of his weapons and sort of this futuristic-looking city. And again, if you're a huge Ratchet and Clank fan, I apologize in advance. I am not an expert by any means of Ratchet and Clank. And I enjoy this era of gaming. So I'm kind of just experiencing this for the first time. The second time, really, but you get me. It's been 20 years. So right out of the gate, we see this huge array of weapons. And this totally, I've talked about this in the past. I think that the art direction in games like this was so important. And when you look back at a game like The Wind Waker, for example, the graphics don't necessarily hold up, but the art direction was so good that everything still looks good. And I would argue the same with this. Like I said, it's a 20-year-old game. But in my opinion, these weapons and these vehicle designs hold up better than I think some modern games that have just recently come out because they had such a clear art direction. It's sort of this cartoony, Y2K design, very colorful. The color palette is, a lot of orange, a lot of green, kind of accented with these purples and blues. It looks amazing. And it looks like they all belong together in the same game. I really like that. This is just our table of contents and, getting you set up, getting you ready for what's in store, really. Our getting started and starting up pages. And feel free to pause on any of these pages. I'm not going to stay on these pages for too incredibly long. So if there's something you want to read, hit that pause button. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? It's going over loading a saved game, loading an original Ratchet and Clank save, which is cool that save could carry over. We have a little introduction here. Welcome to Megacorp's Commando Guidebook. If you're reading this comprehensive training manual, it means you are one of the lucky few who has been handpicked by our most exalted and capable founder, Abercrombie Fizzwidget. What a name. What a name. And that's him up there. That's Mr. Fizzwidget. Maybe I'm just becoming old and crotchety, but I feel like games don't have this type of sense of humor anymore. I don't know. Maybe I am just old and crotchety. Now, here's the thing. I caught some flack in my Jedi Power Battles episode because I didn't memorize the controls and then I griped about there not being a lock-on mechanism. I'm not going to gripe about anything because I'm not going to memorize all these controls right now and I haven't recorded the gameplay yet. So, I apologize. But we do have our basic controls. We have some advanced commando moves over here as well. I always like when games would show you some of the advanced moves in the guide. I feel like that's really, it's a nice touch. I will say this is wild because Game Grumps had to have been inspired by this. If you're not familiar with Game Grumps, they're a huge Let's Play channel on YouTube, and that's like their brand colors. It looks like their brand font, the style. That there has to be some sort of overlap there. Otherwise, it's just a wild coincidence. Anyway, more controls over here, and then it looks like they're doing something that was kind of in the Grand Theft Auto games where there's like an advertisement for Slim's Ship Shack. That's hard to say. It says, your ship lost its get up and go? Do your afterburners spew out noxious goo? Wonder whatever happened to that new ship smell? If you answered hell yeah to any of these questions, then you need to get yourself right on over to Slim Cognito's Ship Shack for all the latest in fighter ship technology. At Slim's, you can outfit your ship with fusion laser cannons, advanced shielding systems, torpedo cannons, and a little ditty we like to call the nuclear detonation device. Plus, we got all the hottest colors on this side of the Bogon Galaxy. Blargian red, Orxon green, and other favorites. At Slim's, it's always good pickings. I love that. That's fantastic. We have some controls over here of controlling Clank specifically and Giant Clank. Goes over here the menu, so it's talking about weapons and gadgets. This Megacorp advisory says some gadgets, such as the foot items, will automatically be equipped when they're required. Goes over here the quick select system, items, help, options, special, the maps section, so there's the galactic map and the map screen. We have our weapons and gadgets. And I will say there are a lot of weapons in this. There's also a little other advertisement there if you want to take a pause and read that. I'm just going to go through these weapons really quickly. So we have the Omni Wrench 8000, the Lancer, the Gravity Bomb, the Chopper, the Swing Shot, the Electrolyzer, Dynamo, Tractor Beam. Then we're getting into Commando Essentials, Nanotech, Bolts, Bolt Crates, Ammo, Megacorp Crates, Time Bomb Crates. They're talking about Armor, Platinum Bolts, Commando Teammates. And then they talk about some of the, they call them extracurriculars over here. So there's like arena battle, hover bike races. And again, this was an era when I feel like games wanted to give you more. They wanted to give you as much as possible. And so they would let you have an arena battler and a hover bike race, or, you know, you go back to like Sonic Adventure 2 and there's the Chow Garden, or, you know, the racing game built into there, which is weird. Sonic can run faster than any car. He doesn't need that. Anyway, just a different time in gaming. Spherical Worlds, Space Combat. And then there's a whole section for space combat. There's a lot to this game. This appears to be quite the thick and filled out game. Getting into our credits, and then at the end here, we see what looks to be a little screenshot from one of the boss battles in the game and the limited warranty. Now you guys know how much I love advertisements in the back of instruction booklets. So let's see what we got. Oh, it's kind of an ad. It's just for the strategy guide. So it has a complete walkthrough of each planet with detailed maps, detailed descriptions of all weapons and gadgets, locations of every platinum bolt exposed, strategy for all maxi games, and all secrets revealed. I wonder what happens if you call one of these numbers. Should I call one of these numbers? I'm going to call one of these numbers.
Call may be recorded for quality assurance. We have a special promotion today for select callers. If you are over 50, please press 1 now. If not,
over
press
50.
2. Hello and congratulations. Just for calling today, we're offering you a free medical alert device. One now.
I don't think this is the right
device, or remain on the line for additional.
I don't think this is the active number. We're going to talk to someone though.
If you work Part A and Part B and want to plan optional plan benefits and check your.
Okay, so that number didn't do anything. Let's try the other one.
I'm sorry.
Damn it! Well, team, it looks like we're not going Commando today. Those were the shot. You know, you call to get a Ratchet and Clank strategy guide, and you end up getting a Medicare helpline. You know, with that, I feel like we're in the perfect space to go check out some gameplay. Before we get into all that, there's also this connection card, so you can, you know, register all your games with PlayStation. So there's that. All right, let's check out some gameplay for Ratchet and Clank, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been trying to play my PS2 games and my PS1 games on my PS3, and I don't remember much about the backwards compatibility between PS3 and PS2, and apparently it's not very compatible. So I'm gonna see if I can find it on the store. Okay, well, you know, I'm not gonna pay $15 for a game that I already own. So hold on, I gotta go hook up my PS2. Hold on. All right, that's better. Now we can actually play it. There's something about PS2 graphics that just, I really love them. I really love them. All right, let's just do a new game. There is a memory card, but
tonight's heroes are the duo who recently restored peace and order to our galaxy, Ratchet and Clank. So, gentlemen, tell us about your latest incredible adventures.
Well, as you can imagine, we've been pretty busy. After Drek's defeat, there were parades, press conferences, fancy dress balls.
And the wiener roast at Al's.
Oh, yeah,
who is that?
And then things
Who's
started
playing
to slow
Ratchet?
down a bit. After that,
There was the grand opening at Groovy Lube.
Right. I think that was last week.
6 months ago.
We're still pretty busy, but in a more, domestic sense.
Yesterday, I flushed out my radiator core.
I guess no one needs a hero right now.
Miss Noodlebottom, I found our man.
Seconds later.
Welcome.
What the?
I honestly always think it's so funny when something is like, you know, 2 seconds later, but the screen is up for longer than 2 seconds. I get a real kick out of that.
On a mission of dire urgitude, a mission of superfluous peril, a mission of unequivocal imperitude.
Did that make any sense?
So, you need me to go on a dangerous mission in another galaxy.
His eyes are a little buggy.
A few days
That's
ago,
okay.
This top secret biological experiment was
Let's dive in.
stolen from
We're
our
skipping it. Diving in. Let's get some gameplay going. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys, as the kids say. It's been a couple days since I recorded the instruction booklet because I couldn't get it to work on my PS3, obviously. So I don't remember the controls. Not that I usually do anyway.
Affirmative. Beginning radio silence.
This really doesn't look bad. I mean, genuinely, this does not look bad at all. It's got like a little crouchy move here. Hold on. Just give me a minute. Oh.
To select weapons, hold triangle and select an icon with the left analog stick.
Well, I don't feel as bad now because I just apparently didn't stand in the right spot on the platform.
Press circle to fire your lancer.
Okay, a little bit of a mild auto lock on. I like that. This is honestly super fun. I'm having a ball right now. And it controls extremely well, especially for such an old game at this point. Did I really just, like, not step on that correctly? Okay, hold on. Hold on, I need to select my thing. Wait. Oh! I fell. Okay. Uh-oh, okay. All right, we're good. I don't like the gravity bomb. There's too much going on here. Yeah. I like the gravity bomb now. That is kind of nice. I feel like, especially for a game that's this old, to have that auto switch. So like when I hit the melee button, it switched out of the Lancer, and then when I hit the circle button to go back to Lancer fire, it auto switched back. That's a nice little quality of life. It's not an improvement because it's just there. It's just a quality of life thing.
Finish him.
Yep. Even the little guy in the cage is laughing. Oh, I love this. Oh, this is great. Whoa, he's got a fight. Whoa, okay. Hold on, boy. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Hell yeah, a little slide action going on. You know what? This looks like it comes for the gravity bomb, folks. Bam! Bam! Eat it. I know I've said this before, and I do fully plan on streaming at some point on this channel. I mentioned it when I played Evergrace. That might make for a good stream. Same thing with Twisted Metal 4. This is immediately added to my stream list. This is great. This auto lock-on system is really nice. It feels very intuitive, I guess. It feels like it's aiming where I want it to aim without me having to put a lot of thought into it, which is welcome. It's a welcome thing. Whoa, hey-oh. You don't just wait for someone behind doors like that. That's rude. No need for the big boy right now. Excuse me. It might not look like it because I'm having a little bit of issues with the camera here, but this game controls so well. Like the movements and the double jump are just the right amount of floaty. You guys, I'm not just saying this for the internet to make y'all happy. I'm having so much fun with this. I love this. My only regret in life is that I can't play more of it today. Like, what's not to love?
Have any maps for this quadrant of the galaxy?
You bet, mister. We got galactic maps, 3D maps, foldouts, cutouts, maps to the stars, and their homes.
I love this. Oh, snap. Seems like a bad button to have that large and immediately behind you. Okay, here's the thing, guys. I genuinely could sit here all night and play this, but I do have some adult responsibilities. But I've honestly had a blast with this so far, and I feel like this would be a great game to hop on one weekend and just stream for a few hours. So if that's something you guys are interested in watching, please let me know in a comment, and I'll get that set up, because I feel like this could be a lot of fun to just hang out with you guys and play some Ratchet and Clank. All right. I literally don't want to stop playing. I need to go. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. That would mean a lot to me. It's always fun going back and visiting these old school games, especially the one, this one for me that got me started on the PS2. So just a super fun trip down memory lane. And, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments which game you guys want to see me play next. That's because I take those suggestions. I take them to heart. And also, just in case I haven't had a chance to release my 1,000 subscriber video yet, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. It means a lot. This is just a channel that I do for funsies because I really enjoy this retro stuff. And to see that it has resonated with at least 1,000 of you, it means an awful lot to me. So really appreciate that. And with that, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.